Hey, guess what?
What?
We're in it. Hey, gals, guys, and otherwise, this is Jonathan O. Roselion.
Hey, guys, and otherwise, this is Jonathan
Okay.
Roselion.
And now we're in it. Hey, gals, guys, and otherwise, this is Jonathan O. Roselion.
And I am Noah, also known as Polyphonic, and you're listening to Horns and Wings, the podcast where occasionally, every now and then, we talk about Saga.
But not today. Welcome to Between the Arcs, number 5. And let's get into it.
What number was that?
It's a number 6.
Number zip?
Yes. Noah,
John.
I'm excited for this one.
Yeah?
And I honestly, as I said that, I realized I wasn't actually. But I'm gonna trick myself into it over the course of this podcast, and by the end of it, I will have been excited for it.
You will have been excited for it. You're gonna it's gonna be such a good episode that it'll go back in time and change how you felt about it.
Yep. And I'm sure there will be no other outcome to this episode. What are we doing, Noah? What are we doing? I don't fucking remember things.
We're shaking the rust off as we go is what we're doing, but I think we're going to be answering reader questions, the deep, hard-hitting, thought-provoking questions that we've asked over the last 8 months.
I like how in this show, reader questions means questions we've asked readers that are all very stupid and no one cares about the answers to.
Wait, are you saying we should do an episode where the readers ask us questions? Is that a...
No, I'm not saying that because no one would write in.
Yeah.
So, this is, in terms of generating content, or as I like to call it, art, this is our best shot. This is the reader questions, the answers of the week, the Between the Arcs.
The answers of the week. Because last week... We did this again, right? And
well, here's the thing: we call them questions of the week, but that implies that it's once per week. So we've already lost the thread on this.
This is true. There was a time. Wait, was there a time?
No. Yeah, there was.
Did we really do weekly?
Yeah, Noah.
How the hell did we do that?
Yeah, how did we do that, Noah? I am amazed by us. Yeah, it's when we come together, we really collaborate. I think that's how we pulled it off. Was just this combination of skills from both sides. And it definitely wouldn't have been infinitely easier if just one of us was doing this show. It is absolutely the fact that it's both of us working together to put out a weekly podcast, which we do every week. But we should really start releasing some of those instead of just one of them every... They're all behind the paywall. What paywall? You'll never know.
I've been putting them on cassette tapes and mailing them to my mom.
That's weird because I've been putting them on cassette tapes and mailing them to your mom. So She's going to double dose every week. Noah, before we get into these reader questions that, again, are questions we have for readers, which aren't even readers. They're listeners.
The listener answers.
The listener answers to the weekly reader questions.
That's the opposite of reader questions, isn't it?
But before we get into these, I wanted to do something that I forgot to do last time in the last episode of Between the Arcs, which was a mere 10-ish months ago. We forgot to do everyone's favorite thing, period, which is Back Matters, which, has a theme song, I assume.
Yeah,
and it goes
play that
a little
sweet,
something.
sweet Back Matters theme.
Roll that beautiful Back Matters footage. Ooh, I forgot about that one, and you know what? Doesn't hold up at all. It's kind of garbage.
Can we... I need to hear it again. Can we hear it again?
Yeah, let's hear that again. You know what? It's kind of growing on me, Noah.
I think one more time and I'll really
I think
love
one
it.
more time it's really going to stick. Okay, hold on.
Oh yeah. That hits the spot.
Yeah. No, it kind of lost me on that one.
Oh, see, that's the content that I love.
Us taking 10 seconds to do a joke that will take up a minute and a half of the listener's time, or the readers. So we're doing back matters. And this is where I go through the back matter of Saga, the letters, pages, whatever you want to call them. To be continued, I think, is the canonical name. And I just find interesting little tidbits that we maybe didn't know about Saga, because this is the comprehensive guide to all things Saga. Noah, this first one from issue 27 answers something that we've brought up many times.
Upshur and Doff are psychic.
He doesn't need to address that. We know. We know. Someone asked about Brian K. Vaughan potentially doing a full Nighttime Smoke novel. And he said that he has actually been approached by multiple prose publishers about doing a full Nighttime Smoke novel. To him, it would not be as powerful and as effective as it already is in your head as this abstract thing. Also, it wouldn't have Fiona Staples, so...
Is that him saying that I should write a Nighttime Smoke novel?
Because he doesn't have the writing prowess to really pull off the subtlety of this revolutionary work that you do. So
absolutely, I do.
So go for it. But I do like that. I like that reasoning of like, which I think he also mentioned in another issue's Back Matters, of how there's agent 355. Is that it? 355? I don't know how they say it. In Why the Last Man, there's the agent.
Oh yeah,
that protects him, and they never. Spoilers for lack of spoilers, we don't get to know her name, but he said that he left hints in the comic for what it really is, and he's seen one person who put together all the hints, and everyone else called them a raving lunatic. But he said that it's not something he's gonna actually reveal now, because even though he did have sort of a headcanon name for her, because he prefers people having... Yep, that's it. I gave you all the clues and you figured it out. But yeah, no, he said he prefers, whatever. The what the reader's interpretation is always, when you fill in the blank, it's always much more personal. And I like that he takes the Pulp Fiction golden light coming out of the suitcase approach too.
As I think there's something that we see with kind of like the Star Wars extended universe, where when absolutely everything has a backstory, it all becomes kind of lame and dumb.
Hold on, except for midichlorians, though, right?
Yeah, midichlorians.
That's the part that's cool.
I'm super glad that I have a backstory for the dice that Han Solo keeps hanging on the Millennium Falcon. That was something that I really needed.
Dude, I've always just been like, I can't connect to this character, because why would this known gambler have dice? Why would this criminal?
Oh, also, I didn't get why he liked his ship, the Millennium Falcon, but now I know there's an imprisoned soul of a robot in it. I don't know why I've decided to start
childish
dunking...
Gambino?
Yeah, I don't know why I've decided to start dunking on Solo. It's actually a fun movie, but I don't need all of that backstory stuff. I also really didn't need to know what the Kessel Run was,
Yeah.
That was way more fun.
Here's the thing, is also, I had nothing left to gain from head canonizing the Kessel Run. It's like, fucking go for it. Go ahead and explain that. I don't give a shit anymore. It's like, oh, in my head, the Kessel Run was with his long-lost mother. And it's like, fucking... Who cares? It's the Kessel Run. It's become a fucking parody of itself. They could do whatever they want.
Also the other one is I definitely needed to know how Han Solo got the name Han Solo from a fucking TSA agent.
I fucking like that one. I like that one just because it's just like such a...
so dumb.
It's so dumb, and it's also just so him to just be like, that sounds cool. I'm gonna change my name.
All right, so cool you're listening to Solo, a Star Wars podcast.
I fucking love Solo. That's one of my favorite Star Wars movies. Hey, so that I thought was interesting. Also, I think this is one of the only times he does this, but he kind of hands the letter responding reins over to Fiona Staples at one point during this issue.
That's exciting.
Yeah, and someone asked her what her goal for the series is or was, and she said that her goal was originally to make enough money to not miss doing work for hire stuff, which I think she pulled off. But also she said now the series is just for her to become a better artist, which I literally cannot fathom.
I mean, I think we can see over the series how she's become a better artist, and she continues to, which is really exciting. Also, how much do best-selling comics people make? It's probably not that much, is it?
Here's the thing. With Saga and with Image's pretty small cut of the thing, and also they own all of the merchandising rights and stuff. All the overseas distribution rights and stuff. They see a good, in terms of units sold, I think they're definitely making way more money than, your average novelist at one of the, big publishers.
But again, making way more money than your average novelist at one of the big publishers is not a lot of money.
Well, here's the thing, is that apparently it must not be making that much if Brian K. Vaughan keeps writing fucking screenplays instead of doing more comics. But you could fucking blame him. That's but yeah, no, it's I think it's pretty decent. Even if you look at, if they're selling each of those for, how much does a normal the thing about Saga is that they sell just to their fucking average reader, they will sell at least the trades. They probably sell a bunch of the single issues to those same readers. Those same readers usually buy the hardcovers too.
Yep.
And they will also, I feel like Saga is one of the most gifted books ever. People are constantly buying those for other people. I personally own close to 3 copies of most of the trades at this point, and half of those are for just giving out. Half of those 3.
Yeah, I have bought and given away all of the trades. I own all of the omnibuses, and I've bought a fair number of issues and merch as well.
Yeah, and that's another thing, is they get Image doesn't get any of that merch money.
We have the Goose plush, and let me tell you, it's the best. Get the Goose plush if you've been considering getting the Goose plush. Just get it. It's delightful, and it brings joy
that's one
into
thing
our
that
lives.
I wasn't gonna bring up, but is also in the back matter, is that in one issue there were 3 people that wrote in showing that they had goose tattoos.
That's amazing.
I was very jealous of it.
I'm gonna get a fard tattoo.
On your balls?
No, on my face, actually, on my forehead.
So the balls are the chin, then?
So the balls are my eyes. And his little chode is gonna be right at the bridge of my nose.
I'm pulling the emergency cord on this one. I'm pulling the e-brake on this one before it goes downhill, because it's peaked.
All right, what's the next thing?
There is a 12-year-old that wrote in with a bunch of questions for BKV, and he answered a lot of them. And they're good questions. And one of them was, does he play video games? Brian K. Vaughan said that he used to play a lot of video games, but then he realized that the feeling that he got from beating a boss was the exact same feeling he got whenever he finished writing something
Huh.
and saw how much of a slippery slope that was to where he realized he wouldn't need writing anymore. And so he stopped playing video games.
I kind of feel called
so
out
how's
by that
Hades
answer.
going, Noah?
Yeah. This is now a Hades podcast. I can tell you I had the sickest fucking build last night, but I'm not going to ramble about that.
Oh, I kind of want to hear about it. Well, we'll say we should have a podcast just for talking about builds in games.
Hades builds.
Hades builds, Hearthstone builds, all the
Minecraft builds.
all those things we always talk about, Minecraft builds.
Like the things you build, you know?
No. You know what? That one actually didn't slip under my radar, Noah. I fully understood it.
Okay.
I just didn't acknowledge it.
This is a garbage podcast. Please cut all this stuff, Haley.
No, it's fucking, you have to live with the weight of this. I'm trying to just get actually interesting information out before we jump into fucking beard marker.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to derail you at every opportunity I get.
You can't derail a train that's not moving. Noah, in issue 29...
You can derail a train that's not moving.
Nope, you cannot. That's just math. Noah, in issue 29, first of all, he points out that Saga was one of the American Library Association's 2014 top 10 frequently challenged books of the year, as in people saying they should not have this book in libraries.
That does not surprise me.
Actually, you know what? That seems like a good time to bring up in issue 31. Actually, I'm just gonna read the letter here because it kind of infuriated me, but it also made me realize a lot of stuff about Saga. So I'm gonna read this letter from Kevin Hahn in St. Louis. Look at that. Mr. Vaughn, I can't thank you enough for sharing your imagination and writing talent with the world. I've been able to relate so much to Marco and Alana's family struggles throughout Saga. My wife and I recently had our first baby, a girl, 4 months ago. She has hazel eyes. My wife is from New Orleans, and I am from St. Louis. We have been pulled in both directions by work and family for years and have struggled over where to live and grow. These two sister cities on the Mississippi seem to be at war over my family since we had baby Aria. I can tell you what year this was written.
Yep.
Marco and Alana's similar struggles in the small, quiet family moments that they share have truly affected me during several major transitions that my family has been going through. I want so badly for my wife to read Saga and be similarly affected. However, she refuses to read any comics, considering them to be juvenile and inferior literature.
The answer is get a divorce.
No joke. Hold on. We'll get to this. My wonderful wife is almost always right, but she is wrong in this. Despite my varied and numerous attempts to get her to read comics, she has held her position. If you have encountered people who feel this way about comics, how have you convinced them to give them a try? Why do you feel that some people think comics are low culture? I guess what I'm really asking is, how do I get my wife to read Saga? Thanks for your time and help, etc., etc. By etc., etc., there was one sentence left, and I could have just read it in the amount of time. But yeah, no, Brian K. Vaughn's response was, wow, this is a tough one, Kevin, but after much careful consideration, I'm afraid the only solution is for you to divorce the mother of your beautiful newborn and find a more appropriate comics-friendly co-parent. Good luck.
Hey, I don't get people who refuse to engage with comics as a medium.
It's dumb. But also, one thing that I realized while, like, reading that I think is so ironic is that, like, looking at comics as low culture, I think it is so funny that I think most people would hand the people who say that a copy of Saga to be like, hey,
yeah,
this is rad, but it is also arguably just about the lowest culture.
It's smut. It's pure smut.
Literal. It's like, oh, you think it's lowbrow? Well, here's a robot taking a dump. Any comments now? But yeah, no. Like, I love the fact that that's such an interesting. Well, actually, someone in this same issue, the back matter, someone signed off their letter with "Saga is our open circuit," which is so accurate
Yep.
and exactly what
Yep.
it is.
It is trash.
Yep.
It is the best kind of trash.
It is the best trash. But yeah, I think that's so funny that, like, I guess it was better when we were, better. I don't fucking know. But, it was an easier argument to make when we were handing people, like, copies of Sandman instead of Saga. But then I think, like, nowadays, like, maybe Sandman would be how to get that guy's wife to read comics. But I feel like a lot of people are going to start reading Sandman now and be like, oh, comics can be sort of boring at the beginning too.
Yeah, I think
in addition to novels.
I think a lot of people are going to start reading Sandman and go, "Oh, what the fuck is going on?"
And there's obscure DC villains in this, but just a little bit, and I don't know.
I'm so nervous for the Sandman show.
Good cast though. But yeah, no, I think that's so funny that is like it's such a counterintuitive thing, but I feel like everyone who reads Saga does it, where it's just like, yeah, people think that, comics are infantile and absurd.
Anyways,
not real art.
Here's a dinosaur wearing a giant dildo.
Yeah, here's a dragon sucking his own dick. What do you think now?
Checkmate, liberals.
But yeah, no, that's just something that was very thought provoking for me, because it is so lowbrow, but also just fucking brilliant. Like, it is such a fucking dichotomy. I don't even want to say that's a dichotomy, but like it is so absurd in that way. That
it's such
I love it.
Beautiful trash.
It is. It really is.
All right, you got any more back matters for us?
I think I have a couple. Oh, there is a complaint. There is one of the few complaints in the back matters. There is a complaint that they used the trope of drug-induced revelation to make Marco pull like a 180. And there is a guy that was like, I'm done reading, or like, I'm very disappointed in this because because there's this trope that like you take drugs and it makes you come to this realization on your own, and like someone complaining that like, but it's literally just the opposite of that trope, because the revelation fucking sucked, and that's the whole point of it.
I mean, also, does this person not know that, like, there's a ton of research of people taking psychedelics once and having life-changing revelations?
Yeah, but it's a trope, Noah, because it's been done before. That's
Ding.
why I've been really annoyed with the trope of people not being able to breathe underwater.
I've been really annoyed by the trope of psychic people moving their mouth and making sounds while they were thinking the same words.
It's just like, we get it. We understand it perfectly. Stop it. Okay, last thing.
I'm never letting that theory go, John. Just so you know. On your deathbed.
Guess what? I'm not either, Noah. I'm not either. Noah, now this is the last thing we'll do for the back matters, and it is that it was brought to my attention that there exists a Buzzfeed which character from Saga Are You quiz.
Wait, are we taking this live?
And you are taking this live. I've already done it, and I won't make people listen to answers. But I'll give my answers as I'm giving you.
Send me the link. Questions. I mean, I just Googled it, so I'm pretty sure I have it.
Well, I'm reading you it, and you are going to answer, and I'm going to put in your answer because it's multiple choice.
Okay.
Well, even though it starts with a visual thing, and it's
I'm
pick
looking
a color.
at it now.
Okay, so we have like a lime green. These are all. It says pick a color, and they're all clearly
I'm picking
like
the orange. I'm picking the.
You're
orange.
picking the orange. Okay, interesting. I went with the. It's all like the vibrant solid colors from the covers. I went with the like magenta-y pink. Noah, what's your favorite style of music? Now, I can't imagine your favorite style not being included in this comprehensive list. But we have alt rock, folk, silence, punk rock, classical, or indie rock. So I guess the question is, how white are you?
I none of these I would say are my favorite style of music.
No,
but
come on. There's the 6 genres.
But out of these, I either folk or punk rock probably. Let's say folk, because Bob Dylan is my favorite artist.
There we go. You were white all along. Hey, Noah, pick a weapon. We have guns, we have cash, we have fists, we have screaming, we have swords, and we have a large battle axe.
So just so you know, this audience, this screaming is a stock picture of a man screaming.
Oh,
and
these
I'm
are
gonna
all stock pictures.
That the weapon is the man screaming, and I'm gonna pick
You're
that.
swinging him around.
Yeah, I'm just swinging around as screaming man.
I'm not gonna lie, that would be one of the more intimidating things I could ever see.
Honestly, I would not be surprised if there was a Saga weapon that was a screaming man. All right.
When's that gonna happen? No, what's your weapon?
The screaming man.
Okay. I think I went with the battle axe. Hey, Noah, if someone's talking shit about your loved one, what do? Shit talk back? Kick their ass? Threaten them, then don't do anything? Get really quiet? Kick their ass before they finish? Or call them a liar? I wonder what the last one is.
This is a really scientific study. I'm gonna say threaten them, but don't do anything.
That's literally what I picked too.
I know
just
myself.
Being fucking honest. We're just being fucking honest here. Okay, and pick your poison. And we have poison, beer, so your answer. Fucking heroin, apparently. It looks like a glass of whiskey.
Two people dangling from heart-shaped clouds in the sky.
Or champagne.
I'll go beer.
Yep. And pick a television show. Oh, this should
This is a really great assortment
Time capsule.
of diverse TV shows.
Okay, we got Weeds, Anything But Soaps, The News, Adventure Time. Cannot imagine what Noah will pick for this one. Scandal. And Law and Order. I like how they managed to put like one of your favorite shows of all time.
Yeah,
in these 6 shows.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive how they managed to get my all-time favorite Law and Order in there.
My all-time favorite, Anything But Soaps.
yeah, that's Adventure Time.
Noah, I'm gonna have you pick an animal here. We got
Elephant.
an elephant, a cute fluffy little dog. We got a snake, Noah.
We got a
robo dog.
Elephant.
We got a lion. No, hold on. You didn't hear me. We have a lion. Noah, we have a lion.
Yeah.
And we have a cat.
I'm picking elephant.
You fucker. What?
What?
Okay.
Who am I?
You got Isabel.
Yes!
Now, here's the thing, Noah, that I'm calling shenanigans on. We had overlap on 2 answers. And I also got Isabel.
Are all of the answers just Isabel?
I think all of the answers. I think this might be a
clicking
quiz.
a bunch of random things and seeing if it gets Isabel.
Well, just a quick description of you to a T. Noah,
yeah.
You ready?
Yes.
To hell if you weren't bonded to the first living soul you could find to get out of Cleve. I don't know what that means. You may have even found your true calling as a babysitter. You can let us know for sure once the sun sets.
What?
That is a description of Isabel that they made no attempt to make at all relatable.
I feel like I want to dunk on this quiz, but I also feel like it was made by a 12-year-old, and it feels mean to dunk on a quiz made by a 12-year-old.
I feel bad shitting on someone who's at the level to rate this.
Yeah. If you made this quiz, can you please let us know?
All right, well, time to wrap up Back Matters here with our classic. We do this. This is the 6th time we've done this. Our classic themed song 3 times just in a row. Oh, you know what? It lost me again.
Once more for good measure.
Yeah, we better throw one more in there.
We're not padding for time. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, because this definitely isn't going to be a fucking hour and a half long thing anyway. Oh, and then we have another theme song because we're getting to our answers of the week. Noah, that was a good theme song. I'm not giving you a chance to comment on it.
Just the one worked for me there. Just the one really did it for me there.
Yeah. Although I do need really quick the Back Matters theme, though.
Oh my god.
I needed that palate cleanser.
How do you feel about it after that one?
I fucking hate it. I'm so tired of listening to it. Dude, I've had to hear it literally 9 times. Shitty joke that is. It's not even a good joke.
It's a bad bit. Do we have any good bits?
We're just hurting people.
Do we have any good bits?
Nope.
Did someone say bull?
There, that's our one. That's our one redeeming quality at this point. No, so I'm actually skipping. We did not technically cover issue 31's question because that is about Petrichor, and we are doing our special Petrichor
special Petrichor episode.
So we'll save that for that. But we are starting out with issue 32 with the immortal question: Beard Marco or no Beard Marco? What's your feeling? What's your feeling on this?
My feeling is Beard Marco. Yeah.
The correct feeling.
Yeah, and generally a lot of the audience is right, but some of the audience is very, very wrong and says no Beard Marker. I can't say Beard Marco.
That's called a segue, though. That's your great podcast host instincts kicking in. I'm not even gonna acknowledge the beardless people. They're wrong and awful people. But the question number 2, Beard Marker.
This one was a little more controversial.
Yeah, it's a little more diverse.
I like Odd Amy's answer. Marker, tattoo the beard on your face, you cowards.
No. This is, I'd say it goes just right down the line. Like it's a 3-way tie of no and absolutely and
what?
Very confused people.
Yes.
Although Leah Mitchum, great point here. The look without the scratchiness, yes please. So I like how people like got meaning from this, which I appreciate. It's a very who are you most wingy for type question where people unanimously fill in that blank.
It's like an abstract painting of a question. People really they're gonna find their own meaning in it.
But the painting is on your jaw.
Yes.
With the marker. I also
John.
I don't want to move on from Beard Marker, but I'm going to. We had our third question this week, which by the way, this is us getting into our era of ask 20 fucking questions every goddamn week, even though we have 108 episodes of this bullshit to do.
Yeah, I'm not taking any of the blame for that one because you're the one that said Beard Marker had to be a question.
And we could have left it there. But then we asked Garbage, like, do you think that Saga should be more happiness-inducing? And this, again, was very split. From, we got fuck, pair, racist, spider, CJK, hearts within hearts, purple heart, yellow heart, black heart, hearts within hearts, white exclamation point, red exclamation point, white exclamation point, red exclamation point, saying more smile summoning Saga, less sad sack Saga, which I appreciate. Also, I'm going to point out here, fuck racist CJK also said no to beard marker, and they're rocking in their profile pic a hell of a beard.
Yeah, but it's a real beard, not a marker beard.
Yeah, I think that's some gatekeeping shit. And I think you really need to check yourself, fuck racist CJK. No beard marker and no racist. Just like, how do you have any friends?
We've also got I used to know how to pronounce this name, but I'm gonna pronounce it differently every time. Ryan J. K-Sass, Saga Boy, and Paper Girl, they said no, Saga should not make them happy. Make me a sadder boy, please and thank you. That's honestly
a lot of fucking masochists in our listener. Well, I guess just Saga readers in general, and that adds up.
I mean, I think given that this was written in September 2020, I think there's lots of sadness coming on the horizon for you, Ryan. So, yeah, stay sad.
You'd think though at that point, you're 6 months deep in sad. You could just be like, yeah, I wouldn't mind. Ben Spencer, we got a Saga could be slightly more joyful. I wouldn't mind that.
Ben from SPTV, friend of the show, Ben, says, I like my Saga traumatic and tear-inducing, which is that's kind of the camp that I'm in. I'm here for Saga to be absolutely miserable. I mean, I like some triumphs, but I mean, why do we read Saga if not to get our hearts ripped out of our chests?
Fucking no, I want you to, I think I mentioned this at the time, but we should all hold on to that issue 34 or 33 feeling of maybe it was 32. Oh, it was 32. Issue 32 feeling of them going on that heist adventure and doing cool fun stuff, and just how nice it made everyone feel, and how they're going to continue this into the next arc, and we're going to be happy about it. And I'm glad that the sad Saga days are behind us. But yeah, no, this is it's an interesting, I mean, there are just people like that. Like I saw I kind of called out a good friend on Twitter the other day, who was kind of publicly shaming a mutual friend about watching Mandalorian and Cobra Kai instead of watching HBO's Watchmen series. And it's just like, there are people who are just like, I want to feel no hope. I don't want to feel hope at any point. I don't want to enjoy just fun things, and I need to be sad all the time. And I was absolutely that person at a certain point until I realized it fucking sucks to be sad all the time.
Yeah, you were
because
you were that
sad
person.
All the time.
Coheed and Cambria were one of your favorite bands. You were that person for a long
now,
time.
To be fair, I'm still Coheed. What's the fandom for Coheed called? A Heat Head.
The Coheed Navy.
A co-head.
A cokehead?
A cokehead. Which is probably why I'm so happy now. But yeah, no, that's interesting. Actually, the person who I think put it best was hat eating. Hold on, I don't want to say it right. Cat heating. There we go. Cthulhu moat says. In all seriousness, right now, a comic book with amazing characters that have horrible shit happen to them and still manage to hold on to their humanity, for the most part at least, is honestly the most happiness-inducing any fiction could be. It's the principle of happy media feeling like complete horseshit when your own perception of reality doesn't match up.
That's also... Odd Amy also had very similar statements that, like, the happiness of Saga is the fact that it's a good story about characters that you can love.
Mm-hmm. Although I will say, I do think that we kind of, because I generally I am a big believer of this, but also I kind of think there's a point where it's like, all right, they went through the shit, and you can just dump a bunch of just good things happening to them on us for a while, and it just feels good because now we like and care about those characters and feel like, yeah, they deserve this. Which Saga, I'm gonna promise you, Saga never ever does. No reading
alert.
all of Brian K. Vaughan's stuff. No, I'm saying like up through episode or issue 108. I promise you that Saga's not gonna have just like a really nice everyone gets what they want ending. Like, it's just not going to. But I will say, I was watching Rocky 2 the other night, and the first like 30 minutes of that movie is Rocky, who was poor and struggling the entire first movie, just having a bunch of money and going out and buying a house and a car and a cool jacket with a tiger on it and getting like married and stuff and having just a fucking hell of a time. And I was just like, this is some of the best content, or as I like to call it, art ever made. And I'm just enjoying every second of it because I love this guy and he deserves all of it. So, just give me a shopping spree episode. How fun would that be? Give me a pretty woman.
A pretty woman on Sextillion.
Yes, montage of the centipede tits. Just getting everything she ever wanted. And just give me enough. That would be enough for me. So I'm glad that's our takeaway from this. Also, I just want to point out before we move on, Ben, aka SPTV, said, by the way, if we ever do get to see Lion Kitten, I bet it will be a flashback right before Lion Cat dies. It is the Saga way.
Your mouth. Lion Cat will not die.
I hate how fucking accurate that is, though.
If Lion Cat dies, I'm out.
The only scenario.
If Lion Cat dies, that's it for me. I'm done.
We're canceling the podcast.
Yeah.
Here's hoping Lion Cat dies then. Issue 33.
On to the next question?
Yes.
Yeah.
In any piece of media, Saga or otherwise, what's a moment where you remember feeling represented, and how did that feel? This is a good one.
We got a great answer from Alex Klingen, who said, I'm going to be boring with my answer, but Petrichor. I had never seen myself represented on this level in sci-fi fantasy, so it's been really exciting. The opening page of number 34 really gave me hope and confidence to be who I am, and that's awesome to hear. I love hearing that, and that just shows how important representation is to marginalized groups, especially.
Yes, for sure. Also, I love that opening of 34 with just where we get. That's one of the things that make me happy that they moved away from the big splash pages at the beginning, because it's nice to start an issue with just like a cool little montage of like Petrichor going through daily life.
Yeah,
it's really fun. Yeah, no, 100%. And maybe we'll hear from Alex on more Petrichor stuff in the future. Who knows?
Hey.
Antonio S. points out Blankets. Have you read Blankets, Noah?
I haven't. I started reading Habibi by the same guy, but Habibi made me deeply uncomfortable, so I stopped reading it.
Yeah, it does that. Blankets has never, as a white small town dude who grew up in a religious family, I have never felt more seen, where it's just like, oh wow, I didn't know that my dumb boring life could be like dramatized well, but it absolutely was. But yeah, it's and if you've ever wanted to know what it was like to be a white religious family small town dude, then go read Blankets. But yeah, Antonio S. is there with me.
I personally, as someone who lives in a society, feel very seen watching Joker.
Hold on, we live in a society?
No, actually though, Ben Spencer makes a great point that I very much relate to. Being a straight white male, I'm two of those things. It was the moment I turned the telly on. It's great to see more diversity in media reflects real life more accurately. And that's something that I can really relate to as a cis white guy. It's exciting for me to see other people represented, even if it's not my experience. It's exciting to me to see other experiences and to learn other people's experiences, because my experience is kind of the default in media.
Oh yeah, I mean that is where so much of the joy of Steven Universe comes from. Everyone, go watch Steven Universe. By the way, I don't know if I've ever plugged that show on here.
Speaking of children's shows, though, I cannot tell you the amount of times where I have felt seen by Jake the dog.
Oh, everyone on that fucking show.
Yeah.
No, if you haven't watched it before, a very interesting watch that I just rewatched is Double Fine, the game studio that made Psychonauts and what was the Jack Black game?
Oh,
where he was a roadie.
Yeah, I know the game you're talking about.
Anyway, that they do a thing where every couple of years they have everyone stop what they're working on, and they just make a bunch of prototypes based on pitches within the company for games. And there was one year where they had Pendleton Ward come in and make a game in 2 weeks.
Oh, that's
and the
cool. Result
of it. And they had a documentary where it's like every episode is 1 day of the 2 weeks, and it's called Amnesia Fortnight. I believe it was the 2014 one, and it is very fun to watch Pendleton Ward work and direct people and voice acting and stuff, and the result of it is terrifying and hilarious.
Is Amnesia Fortnight a game where you're dropped into a spooky castle haunted by something?
Shit. Hold on.
And you need to have a battle
Haley, cut this out.
there?
Haley, cut this out. We just made $1 million. Anyway. Also, a couple people pointed out Harry Potter, which that's always something I feel like maybe less so as we move away from the generation and as we move more towards J.K. Rowling being the fucking worst. But it always stuck with me where I think the other Brian Michael Bendis, the other bald Brian from Cleveland, said that Harry Potter is like the only just universally relatable character, and I think he's relatable in the sense that everyone wants to be in that position. Like everyone wants to find out
they're the chosen one.
Wizard. Yep.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to find out that their parents actually died from murder, from a wizard murder.
Everyone wants to find out that they are part of a world where people used to just shit themselves and magic it away.
I mean, that was being a baby. I would shit myself and it would magically go away. So that's not totally inaccurate. That's right. I'm a J.K. Rowling apologist, but only with that.
That's a weird twist. I like Jennifer's answer. She said, when I saw a breastfeeding mom on the cover of a comic book, Alana is the protective, badass mom we all aspire to be. And I think that's really awesome. Like, a really good point. Saga's portrayal of motherhood is very kind of unique in media, through Alana. And a lot of the time, mothers of newborns and pregnant women are kind of in media confined to these corners where they're not shown as being capable or badass or any of that. And Saga is I mean, as a unit, the mothers in Saga are the most badass characters
as an absolute unit.
Hey,
yeah.
Ryan,
Faceify. No, fuck off, Ryan. I don't care about Ryan. I don't want to know what you say about Ryan's last name. Faceify says bi men are rarely represented, and I like that. Daryl, I'm guessing Daryl from Walking Dead, is he canonically bisexual?
I don't know.
Is one of the least sexual guys on the show. As often when bisexual men and probably women are in shows, their bisexuality is only shown through sex scenes and sexualization. It's nice to see bisexuality removed a bit from sex.
Yeah.
I think that's always like, it's always hard to determine, like, oh, are they not showing this because they're afraid to show any of it, or are they not showing it because they're at such a high level of being cool with it that they don't need to flaunt anything or even confront. I don't want to call what people who do make things about it flaunting it, but they feel like these characters can do things other than talk about their plight. So were you looking it up? Am I looking it up?
Oh no,
Is Daryl
should
bi?
I be? Is Daryl bi?
Hold on. I got a better way to do this.
The Walking Dead may confirm that Daryl is bi.
Is Daryl bi?
Did you Siri it?
According to Wikipedia, Daryl Dixon is a fictional character from AMC's horror drama
No,
series
no,
The Walking
no.
Dead.
Are you there?
Hold on.
The character was
Hold on.
created for the television series by writers Frank
Welcome to the
Darabont.
Fart
It's
Radio
it's
Hour.
he. I'm sorry. Google's just
name
reading
is
off the entire Wikipedia entry for Daryl.
And you're listening to the Fart Radio Hour.
No.
This is a secret.
No,
episode.
bad.
It's a
No.
secret. It's a
No, it's
secret
not. No,
episode.
it's not. It's a secret to no one.
I really liked Firespore's answer. Firespore talked about
Oh,
Hiccup
yeah.
from How to Train Your Dragon and talked about
Classic.
how Hiccup was a male character whose strength came from curiosity and compassion rather than physical prowess or domineering intellect. And I really loved that, and I feel like that's a really, really great answer. Because we don't get enough compassionate male characters, and Hiccup definitely fits into the Samwise Gamgee role of someone whose strength really comes in how they're able to care for the people around them.
Yeah, I like that. Like, that's such a good example, and it's something that I never really thought about because they mentioned, like, growing up with stuff like Avatar, where it's always like if there's the compassionate character, they're always that chosen one character who has these magical powers, and or is a genius or whatever. And yeah, Hiccup is just a normal ass dude. And I appreciate that.
Another character like that, another great male character whose power comes from compassion is Ted Lasso.
Is the one I play on this show?
Yeah, sure.
Really?
Have you seen Ted Lasso?
No, I have not. That's on Apple, right?
Yeah.
That's why I have not seen Ted Lasso.
Yeah, no, they gave me a year of it for free. Otherwise, I would not have. But if
They're
in
like,
theory,
you bought a $10,000 computer, you can have 1 year of Apple TV, I guess.
if in theory there were ways to get Ted Lasso without getting a subscription to Apple TV, I would highly suggest that one watch Ted Lasso because it is.
Now here's the
really
situation though,
wholesome
is that
show.
anytime I try to get things through non-Apple ways, my internet provider is very upset with me. Do you know of any kind of service that I could use some kind of code for? That
I actually
help me
don't
out
even
on
know which one is my most recent sponsor.
you fraud.
Skillshare.
Okay, we've spent so much time on this question. Every answer is great. Go check out all those answers. So we're going on to issue 34 here.
We're moving from these petty conversations about representation to the really important stuff.
to the good stuff, like what's the brown liquid in that green water bottle in the first panel of issue 34? And we have some good, interesting answers here. I really like fuck pair racist spider CJK.
No, you don't need to do the
hearts.
whole thing.
No,
Just-
oh no, okay. It says robot tears,
Yep.
which I appreciate because it's like oil or whatever.
Basify. Why do I always go Basify? Basify says it's not liquid, it's soil that's soaked with the blood of winged soldiers just in a bottle. Yep.
Yummy.
I'm not gonna I don't like Thunderwolf's answer, so I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not either, so no one gets to know.
Alex,
But I will say,
oh
well, you will say.
no, you will say.
Oh, I will say. Alex says that if Petrichor is as similar to me as I hope, this liquid could be highly caffeinated energy drink. But also, being among all the other Wicca/pagan items, it could be moon water made with crystals, which was, I think, my original guess. If you go back and listen to the
Yeah,
thing, I said, knowing my knowledge of Wicca and pagan items, it's probably moon water, but it's not normal moon water. I think we all know it's not normal moon water. But it's the shade's slightly off for that. It has to be made with crystals.
and
So
Odd Amy gives us a simple answer. It's tea. Yeah.
I think it might be Moonwater.
Is tea Moonwater?
Oh my god.
Wait, did we have more questions in this? Because CJK has some other answers.
I think those are questions that we asked within the podcast that we did not bother listing because we didn't. Although CJK does recommend read Kim and Kim and Sex Death Revolution from Mags Massaggio. Which do that.
That also reminds me, I wanted to recommend Magic for Liars, which is a book written by a trans non-binary person. I said I was going to try to read more fantasy sci-fi stuff by trans stuff. Magic for Liars by Sarah Gailey. Really, really fun. Kind of like a hard-boiled detective novel taking place at a contemporary school of magic. It's really fun.
Oh, good. It's contemporary. I always wanted to do. I've literally pitched it to publishers doing a high fantasy noir thing.
Yeah.
Noir detective thing. So as long as they're not treading on my shit, then they go check that out.
Yeah, but I think we got all our brown liquid. Now we get to the real hard-hitting question.
I said before that you were a master of segues,
and I
mean it.
Who would win in a fight, an alligator butler or a bear nurse?
Finally, we're getting to the good questions. Here we go. So we have some very thought out answers.
Yes,
but one that I really appreciate is Odd Amy pointing out that that really what it boils down to is the fact that a nurse is gonna. I mean, that's the key term there. A nurse is gonna kick anyone's ass.
But I don't know. There's also people that have made points that Ben Spencer said, nurses will heal and not cause harm.
Oh shit! The Hippocratic Oath.
Yeah.
They need the bear.
Wait, but it's a bear nurse, not a hippo nurse, so it should be okay.
Shut the fuck up! I'm so angry. I laughed at that instinctually. That was my baby brain coming back for a second.
Thunderwolf says it's a tie because both of their mothers are named Martha.
I get that reference. Hey, you watching Justice League, Noah?
I am 100% never going to watch that movie. I never saw the original cut. I will never see the Snyder cut. I've never even seen Batman vs. Superman. I've never even seen Man of Steel. But know what I did watch the other day that was fucking awesome? Aquaman. That movie kicks total ass.
I'm glad we got that plug in.
Aquaman is actually tonally very similar to Saga.
There's one thing that movie really has going for it, and it has fucking Jango Fett as Aquaman's dad, and that's all I care about. And those are where my interests lie.
My interests lie in crazy, absurd, wild fucking set pieces in a fantasy sci-fi world. Firespore made a good point. Are bear claws strong enough to break through alligator scales? Because I will say,
here's the thing to consider: 3,000 pounds of pressure per inch for alligators bites.
But here's the other thing, though.
Noah, there's no other thing. 3,000 pounds coming at you from both sides here, Noah.
But you're not taking into account the fact that this alligator is a butler. We've talked about the nurse things. We're acting as if this is just a wild alligator. This is an alligator butler. He's very sophisticated. He knows his etiquette. It's impolite to bite a nurse.
Bite about him. So really, we have a stalemate here.
Yeah,
we have the bureaucratic oath, and we have the polite society gator, and
now
no one wins.
Issue 35, question 1: where in Poland does Saga take place?
I like how you redirected us out of the garbage dump into a dumpster. we really went nowhere with this transition here. So
I'm an expert of transitions.
Firespore says Vancouver, Poland, obviously.
Great city.
Thunderwolf says World War II, Poland.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Alex says the free city of Danzig, which is where metal is the most brutal.
Of course.
And Odd Amy makes the correct answer. You two realize they travel all the time, right? They never stay in one place in Poland for very long.
See, I think she's confused though, because we're not talking. We didn't say what building in Poland. We just want to know what city that they're obviously moving around within in Poland. I think there's a bit of miscommunication there. It's which city in Poland, not just a one location. We know they move around. We're not idiots.
All right.
We know they go from place to place within Poland. But we're asking specifically what city.
And now we get...
So now that's the question of the week. Now that we have that established and we have that clarified.
Okay.
Which city in Poland is it taking place in?
Now we get a good question, which is this is an actual interesting discussion. In your mind, how does Saga stack up against other fantasy classics?
Yeah. Which I'm disappointed with the lack of fantasy classics readers amongst our responders here, but also I will say, fucking what do I know about it either? I've read Lord of the Rings, and I don't know other fantasy classics.
I've read a lot of fantasy classics. I'm very well read in fantasy.
Yeah. You know what, Noah? I guessed.
I just finished a reread of A Wizard of Earthsea, and I would say Saga is...
Oh, is that based on that movie?
Yes. I would say Saga
movie?
is almost as good as A Wizard of Earthsea. I think
him off the fucking podcast.
I think a lot of people talk about kind of war, and war is a big theme in a lot of fantasy. Dallas said that rereading Lord of the Rings has opened its eyes to how anti-war the messaging of that story is. And pro-nature it is, links it with Saga's messaging, which is interesting. That is true. There is a very...
Replace nature with fucking, and then it's Saga.
Yeah, fucking is nature. Nature is fucking. Nature is always fucking.
You know what? Remind me to never go camping with you, okay?
Wait, what do you do when you camp? Alex noted the not differences, the similarities to A Song of Ice and Fire, with neither side being good, which is a very apt observation, I would say. Also, they said it's a much less grimdark Warhammer 40k. Yeah, I guess I've never really played any Warhammer 40k, so...
Oh, so you haven't... you don't know the classics then, is what you're saying.
Isn't Warhammer 40k also like sci-fi?
You haven't
fantasy?
read the classic fantasy novels then, Noah.
I haven't. When I say classic fantasy novels, I mean that I have read... I was really hoping that I'd come up with a joke by the end of that sentence, but there's the Barbie Nutcracker and the Four Realms. I think I'm mixing things together.
No, that's too many things.
I'm losing it. Take over, John. Stop me from talking.
No. Welcome to another Fart Radio Hour here. Talking classic Warhammer jokes.
Also,
Noah, well, I guess what about, that's another one I've read, Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. I guess we could call that a fantasy classic.
Yeah, that's the Bible, right?
Yeah. So I guess that's kind of the opposite of this. Is there similarities?
I don't know.
What are the similarities? What a dumb question we asked. Who is this for?
Odd Amy actually has a really good answer again.
Fucking of course.
She said, it's honestly hard for me to read classic fantasy stories sometimes because they can be so in-depth in their world building and she gets bogged down. And one of the strengths of Saga is that she never feels lost trying to understand everything. She doesn't need to know how the crash helms work, but she knows what they do for the plot. And we've talked about this a lot about Saga, that they really, really hold back on exposition and don't need to tell you the 12-year history of every single thing, which is really cool and awesome.
I mean,
good.
that I wish I would see more fantasy. Like, if anyone knows any fantasy stuff that also does this, because I would argue that Saga is the most accessible fantasy thing, next to maybe
Harry Potter.
You can make the. Yeah, no, I guess so. And also, you can make the argument for like Star Wars prequels being like very easy to.
Wait,
you
there's
don't
prequels?
need to understand. Yeah, the sequels. But yeah, no, that's something I would love to see, and actually, that's something that Haley and I have been working on as a fantasy comic in our spare time, and that has been one thing that is infinitely challenging but super fun to figure out, is how the hell do you do world building but not do it how it's traditionally done, which is to death.
I've been doing a big I'm working on a big fantasy project with a lot of world building, and it's really, really interesting to figure out how to properly world build, and I don't think there's a right answer, except the right answer is however the fuck Saga does it. Yeah. That's the right answer.
Only there's like a podcast that could just like figure out how they do it. If someone just took enough time to really dig in to how they do it, then maybe we'd be able to figure it out. But unfortunately, there is no such resource. We just talk about reader questions here. Speaking of, did you miss us?
Did you miss us? You know what? I'm gonna re-ask that again now. Did you miss us?
We don't do fucking questions for the answers.
Did you miss us?
We do not do questions during the answers.
Did you miss?
Even though I literally just asked.
Did you miss us? Did you miss us?
We're doing oh, you know what? That is a different question, though, I will say. I'll give you that. You are asking, did Ja miss us?
Did the Rastafari God miss us?
So if you could go ahead and answer that, we'd appreciate it. But people did.
Of course they did. We're the best.
Except for fucking
you.
Thunderwolf.
Oh. I thought you were saying, like, we're the best except for you. You're not the best. What I'm saying is I'm the best. And Haley's also the best, because she edits these.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let me know when you're done being mean.
Never.
So we can get to our friend podcast that we do as friends.
Wait, we're friends? I thought we were just co-content creators.
You know what? We were just begrudgingly in this for the cash. I forgot.
Yeah. We're.
Wouldn't that be funny if we fucking hated each other, but this was the thing? That we're like, we gotta fucking get it done, though.
We're like Keith Richards and Mick Jagger.
But with nothing.
Yeah. Also, Odd Amy thanked for the shout out on her story. And she congratulated you on being published in your school journal and said you couldn't have done it without her.
2014, Stark State Technical College, literary journal. I got 2 pieces into that one. It's a classic. Also Odd Amy saying whatever that was.
Which of your accomplishments is bigger? Being published in that, or being the star of the Did Somebody Say Bowl Christmas play?
That's a good question. It's a very good question. By the way, can I just point out that Haley has a book coming out in the near future that I'm not allowed to talk about, but it is with a major publisher that she's worked on.
Is she
that she's lettered for.
That's so exciting.
And,
is it Saga?
Yeah.
Is she phonographics?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, she is.
She's been phonographics the whole time?
Too much. She was right under our noses. Wouldn't that have been great?
That's really exciting, though. Let us know when that comes out.
And so she is infinitely more successful than I will ever be, which is fun.
That's no surprise.
That's It's very obvious. That's why I hopped onto those coattails as soon as possible. Do we have any more? Was there? No, that was the third question. Okay, well then we have a final question here, and I certainly hope no one interrupts me as I get ready to say this final question, which of course, and please, no one interrupt me here. And I've said it too many times to the point that you will not interrupt me, and I'm just going to keep talking though, in the blind hope that you will interrupt me with this, but hopefully no one interrupts me as I get to this final question. Which is...
Did somebody say no?
Oh, that's weird. That's the final question too.
Exactly phrased exactly like that.
And
there's a very real chance there's some serious clipping there.
What? You tell me the Blue Yeti can't handle that? And yeah, just a resounding no. Just a resounding no from everyone.
Thunderwolf did say though that somebody said
no.
Flying sharks do 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 do, flying sharks do 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 do, flying sharks do 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 do, flying sharks. Lying cat do 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 do, lying cat do 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 do, lying cat do 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 do, lying cat.
Welcome to the Fard Radio Hour.
Hey.
We fired the former host
no.
For allegations that we're not at liberty to talk about.
You cannot wrestle the Fard Radio Hour from me. This is my baby. This is the real feud that will break up the band.
Hashtag John's Fard Radio Hour cut.
All right.
Release the John's Fard Radio.
Hey, release
Noah.
the Fard cut.
Release the Fard cut.
Hey,
Noah.
We did it.
Did we? Oh, wait, shit. Were we supposed to be recording that?
Oh, hey. Ooh. Yeah. Thank you for joining us on this trash, and it's been really good to shake the rust off because next episode, we're gonna actually have like really good conversations about really important stuff. So it's been good to let the piss boys out a little bit.
Yeah. And you know what? You know what's really exciting about that is that next episode we're going to do that, and there definitely won't be any other episodes in between them.
No, it's
going to somehow be even dumber.
No, it's going to be very all I'm saying is our next episode, the next episode that releases is going to be one of the most important conversations that we ever have on this show. and that's the way the cookie crumbles. Hey, no, where can people find you? Okay, so if you go to the nearest abandoned Taco Bell, you take a circle, you take some chalk, you draw a circle in the parking lot and slaughter a burrito there, and then say 3 times and light a candle. Then you can find me on YouTube at Polyphonic.
That's why I'm not subscribed to you.
Yeah, I've got a video coming out on Bob Marley, which is gonna be pretty sick. So, check that out before you wreck that out. John, where can people find you?
Oh, I hope that one catches on. Fucking honestly, they can't really find me much of anywhere these days. But they
can find you riding on Haley's coattails.
Yeah. Find Haley, look down. There I am. Thank you so much for joining us. I can't believe we're here. We're a couple of Isabels. We've made it this far.
Couple of piss boy Isabels.
Couple of Pissabels. And thank you so much. And we're so deeply sorry to Brian K. Vaughan, Fiona Staples, Photographics, and Image Comics.
Deeply sorry.
For making the worst podcast fodder that's ever existed.
This is definitely the worst Saga podcast. I can say that with confidence.
It's sad that it really is. But here's the part where we pull it. I almost said pull it out, so I'm going to. Here's the part where we pull it out. Noah, hit him with that classic final line that makes everything better.
Flying shark, doo 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 doo.
Bye, bye,
Am I
bye, bye,
shitting?
bye,
Am I
bye,
shitting?
bye, bye,
Am I
bye, goodbye,
shitting?
goodbye,
Am I
goodbye.
shitting?